I'm calling this in near unison for the moment. In near unison. Interpreter, I announce, entering the examination room. Sorry to keep you waiting. Oh, good, you're here, says Dr. Lichter, without looking up from the file in her lap. We got through most of it, but find out what Mrs. Magana wants to ask. I hang my purse on a hook beside the Sharps disposal box. Mother and patient sit on folding chairs against the window, striped in sunlight leaking through the blinds. ¿Cuál es su pregunta? I ask her. Mrs. Magana answers in Spanish. As her words enter my ears, I transform them into English and say them aloud. I do it almost without thinking, without analyzing. I assume her voice and mannerisms. We speak in near unison. We say, I am worried about Pablo because his thing seems too big. My other son didn't look like this at his age. Dr. Lichter looks up from her notes, her wispy eyebrows raised. His penis, it's enormous. Mrs. Magana holds her hands about a foot apart and widens her eyes at the space between them. Her curvaceous red lips twitch, a little like Marilyn Monroe's. The boy of the gigantic phallus sits with his head and shoulders folded towards his mother, as though hoping to slide back into her body through a secret entrance at her armpit. His thick black lashes flutter like moth wings. His scraggy vertebrae protrude through a baby blue t-shirt. He is severely disabled, physically and perhaps developmentally. Unless Dr. Lichter speaks the name of his malady, I won't know it. I don't ask questions. The interpreter must not influence the conversation. Could it keep growing? Mrs. Magana asked quietly. I've never seen one so big. The boy rocks in his chair slowly on a secret ocean. He separates his knees, drawing my gaze to the forbidden zone. I imagine the outrageous member flattened under his jeans, notched and deflated like a day-old balloon animal. How can this fragile young body carry around a John Holmes cock? Dr. Lichter's eyes are a blue so light, I can see right through them into her brain. Inside, she is laughing. I also find this one funny, which makes us both black-hearted. Has he begun masturbating? Asked the doctor. Ha empezado a masturbarse, I shadow. Well, I haven't seen him do it, but I have found stains. Stains. Semen. In his pants and also on the floor. The doctor makes notes on the chart. I flashed to the day I found a porn mag in my son's algebra binder. How it hit me like a 2x4 that I wouldn't be the most important woman in his life. He was already thinking of a replacement. Yet he would always be the most important boy. Pablo is 10? Asked Dr. Lichter. He will be 10 next week, won't you, my heart? She peers at him solicitously and kisses his forehead. The lipstick stains him. She smudges it with her thumb, leaving a pinkish mark like a scrape above his eyebrow. High school is the problem. My son is 16. He won't let me touch his hair anymore, much less kiss his forehead. He padlocks his room when he goes out. Of course, I have no idea about his penis size. If it were extraordinary, like Pablo Magana's, I'd be happy for him. It would be a boon in his life, a source of pride of him, and a source of joy for his girlfriend. I don't even know if he has a girlfriend. Pablo Magana will never have a lover, so his gift is lost, unless some weird uncle rents him a prostitute with a heart of gold. Imagine her amazement. So perhaps God gave Pablo a tool to outsmart natural selection. My mind is out of control. We did a scan last time you were here, says Dr. Lichter, and Pablo's endocrine levels are those of a 15 to 16-year-old. He must have entered puberty very early, at about 8. Is that normal? Mrs. Magana, your son's brain is not normal. The mother stiffens, as if someone she doesn't like has entered the room. We did the scan to rule out the presence of a tumor on the pituitary gland. He could have a tumor? She pales. In the vast sea of future possibilities, Pablo is yanked away in a cancerous riptide. She is left bobbing alone on the surface with thousands of little pills in a back brace, surreal medical bills, a half-pack of adult diapers, a clunky orthopedic shoe. Since his endocrine levels are high, we had to rule it out. We did not find a tumor. So the test was normal? No, Dr. Lichter answers sharply, not normal. Tight little lines flash around her lips, and I realize that she is tired of arguing with hopeful mothers. But he does not have a tumor. Mrs. Magana relaxes into a radiant smile, all dimples. Oh, good. Oh, thank you, doctor. The puberty phase should close within a year or 2. His penis probably won't grow much more. Did you hear that, my heart? Says Mrs. Magana. Pablo lifts his bushy eyebrows and moans. He needs her endlessly, will stay beside her endlessly, or until such time as his body self-destructs. She kisses him, licks her thumb, and smears the mark. I touched my son for an instant this morning, contact stolen before I woke the beast to get him off to school. He lay on his side, and I placed my fingers on his broad back just to assure myself of its warmth. He's a big boy, a little doughy but not fat. He won't grow much taller. I noticed a small round welt on his forearm. It might be a cigarette burn. He already shows signs of American football games and parties I can't keep him away from. His nose was broken by somebody I have never met.